everybody. Hello, welcome to Be Uncensored and welcome to our late night show. Can I tell you, it's very late, but we definitely have to cover this as so important. Good to see everyone. And I just want to say, if it's your first time to come across this channel, I'm going to ask you to subscribe. Make sure that you ring the bell so that every time I'm live, you'll be notified immediately. But to my regulars, I want to say shout out to you and thank you so much for coming through. And let's have a conversation. Honestly, Zanu PF in crisis. There's quite a lot going down right now in the political circle. Chiwenga's faction plot to dethrone Mnangagwa, exposed. You remember when Mr. Mnangagwa said, listen, my eyes are all over the place. I'm the one who started all these institutions. So, and I'm the god of those institutions. If you try me, I'm going to catch you just like that. I'm sure this is where we are in this situation today. Okay. Triple C as well, unbelievable. Quite a number of things that are going on as we speak. But let's have a look and see what's going on Twitter trends. Very, very important. Shout out everybody. There's Petha right here. Nessa, good to see you. Petha, good to see you. Yo, I'm asking you to make sure that you comment and also like the live. Please, it helps us to push algorithm because we need to have a conversation tonight. Trouble in paradise. Trouble in paradise. There's always something going on in Zimbabwe. Every day you're waking up, there's always a story. So there is a trouble definitely in paradise. Let's have a look and see Zimbabweans are trending. Okay, what did we do? What did we just do? I hope for the right reasons. I don't want to hear that we are trending for wrong reasons. Good to see everybody. Thank you guys for coming through. So thank you guys for coming through. Let's have a conversation, yo. Okay, dear Zimbabweans. He's telling you the truth that most of you are uncomfortable accepting. Ignore what he's saying and you will be here posting the same issues for the next 40 years. Yeah, people are saying elections have failed us. I mean, the same boat. Yeah, if there's no change in terms of our electoral laws, reform, where elections can be monitored by outside the board, like outside bodies like SADC, AU, I'm sorry. Yeah, I don't want to get involved in this war sham of nonsense. Wasting my time, play with my emotions. This time, I'm standing for what I believe in. It's me and me, who comes first? Good to see everybody. Drop your location. I just want to send you some shout out and tell you how much I love you. It's so good to see everybody. Let's have a conversation. Pretty much interesting. Every day, there's always going to be something going on. Something going on. Drop your location. Mount Pleasant. Good to see you, Shepard. Shout out. Thank you so much for coming through. I appreciate you deeply. I really do appreciate you. So people are saying, honestly, and elections don't work for us as Zimbabweans. We need to fix our country. Maybe we'll look at a referendum. But I remember last time when it was suggested, the rebut was that our country or constitution does not support referendum. But for me, I feel like a country is more like a family. We must sit down and have a conversation. And Ali also said that, dear Zimbabweans, even if Jesus Christ is to contest elections in 2028, you will lose under the current electoral commissions. Agreed. Azek failed us. I mean, no one can ever believe that there's something good coming out from these folks. Nothing. But did you see them 2 days ago? They were actually being trained with SADC. I thought I can cover that story tomorrow morning. And I was like, whether you train them or you don't, it's not like they don't really know what they're doing. Yeah, of course they do. It's just that they do what they want to do, but they know what's right, right? They know what's right. And of course they do. Of course they do. Because there's all this political interesting drama. I just wanted you guys to take this clip as an introduction before we proceed, but we're going to have a part right here. So stick around, guys. Stick around. Let's take a listen to this clip quickly, please. Confusion everywhere. There's confusion everywhere. I can tell you. Confusion is everywhere. Take a listen, please.
And therefore you expel them. Absolutely. But you do not know the name of that party. The creature of the name is called Triple C. Structureless. What is Triple C? Triple C. So they didn't join in another party. It's another political party which does not have a constitution, so which does not have a structure. So there are two. There is one Triple C. But within that Triple C, there's an animal called Triple C without structure. Okay. So basically what you are saying is that they joined another party within the party. They joined another party. Within the party. Within the party. And where that causes expulsion. Okay. And these people have refused and they denied that they have joined another. Wait, my brother. That's a good point. Let me elaborate. You are speaking to a astute politician here. I mean, people joined another party, and therefore you expelled them. Absolutely. But you do not know the name of that party.
You know, you are speaking to the most astute politician. Sorry. So Sengoso Shangui is calling himself a real politician. So everyone else is a counterfeit. But Songezo Shangui is the only politician as we speak. But I need to show Songezo tonight that you are not dealing with the people that you think you're dealing with. These ones, they spit you like a bubblegum. They can chew you and then spit you when they feel and when they want to do it any day, any minute, any time. They don't play. They don't have friends. You know, they don't have friends. No one is a friend there. If they wake up today, they can just tell you to leave. Bhila is in the same position. But we will get into that shortly. Now, an evil man will burn his own nation to the ground and rule over the ashes. An evil man will burn his own nation to the ground and rule over the nation. I think the evil man is the most important word. An evil man will burn his nation to the ground and rule over ashes. I think that's where ZANU-PF is. They are prepared to burn, to destroy, and then they are happy to rule over ashes. You can see by their actions, they don't mind to rule over ashes. All right, so you know Shaki, that young boy that is claiming himself that he's a successful man, he's also kind of part of the God Mafia. You know Shaki, the young boy that says he was in Forbes magazine. He calls me Mnangagwa the president, he's God daddy. You know, he's going to campaign, also he's campaigning for he's campaigning for Chegu to West constituency. And I'm asking myself, I'm like, when did you become a politician, yo? But the young man says he wants to be a member of parliament. But now, this is quite interesting. He's literally competing with, Dexter Nduna. Remember last time during the election where Dexter was screaming and shouting, requesting that people come help me. He was trying to file as an independent and then ZANU-PF blocked him. He's actually against, Sheki and also the Citizen Coalition for Change, which I know Citizen Coalition for Change may come out victorious. But let's see where it's going. But Sheki is trying to fight for other posts. He wants to get to parliament. Yeah, it's quite interesting. Now, breaking news, y'all. United States Secretary of the State Antony Blinken's statement on Zimbabwe. Bear in mind, Chris Muchanga vanoda zvekugalavhanda kuAmerica. Remember, vakakwira pazvimahorses kuAmerica vachigalavhanda nevana vavo. Now, America has said not anymore. You rig elections, we can't afford you a visa to even fly into America anymore. So it's what for the big wigs. They're in trouble. ZANU-PF big wigs are in trouble because you rig elections. America says we can't. You know, one thing that I'll tell you about, by the way, I'm very respectful and I'm not as a racist, but we can all agree that West people do their things very differently. They're quite pristine when it comes to either business or paperwork. You can't mess up with them, but I'm not saying all of them. I'm not saying all, but most of them are very thorough when it comes to contracts. So they're saying, the secretary said, I'm announcing today a new visa restriction policy for undermining democracy in Zimbabwe. Under this policy, bear in mind, it's strictly for Zimbabweans. They never say Africa, this strictly for Zimbabwe. Which means that the reports that came out of SADC, that came of African Union, that also came out of European Union, definitely they've been filed as far as the United States of America. So America is saying, no, we can't afford you visas to come in, Galavant, putting your money. I just can't wait for us to start collecting our monies that are stashed in Europe. I can't wait because we have to go after almost every looter. You say, bring back to Caesar what belongs to Caesar. It's time for us to have what belongs to us. You know, I can't wait. So he said, I'm announcing today a new visa restriction policy for undermining democracy in Zimbabwe. Under the policy, the United States will pursue visa restrictions pursuant to Section 212, subsection A, subsection 3, subsection C of the Immigration and Nationality Act for individuals believed to be responsible for or complicity in undermining democracy in Zimbabwe. Such acts may include manipulation or rigging the electoral process, disenfranchising of voters or preventing individuals from exercising their right to vote, excluding members of the political opposition from electoral processes, restricting the ability of civil society organizations, CSOs, to operate and engage in democratic governance or human rights related activities, or intimidation of voters, election observers, or CSO through threats or acts of physical violence. They may also include engaging in corrupt acts, including bribery that undermine the electoral process, interfering with the independent operation of the judiciary during its adjudication of electoral causes. Cases, or abusing or violating human rights in Zimbabwe. Family members of such persons may also be subject to the restrictions. Praise the Lord. Ziyakhala ke manje. Ziyao. Ziyakhala ke manje. Okay, so your family members, which means Mr. Mchangwa and your cronies, your nephews and your nieces, you cannot. Which means, I'm very worried about the kids for the bidwigs that have been gallivanting, driving their Ferrari latest cars in America. You're in trouble, yeah, they'll come after you because they know that money belongs to Zimbabweans. It does belong to Zimbabweans. Anyone who undermines democratic processes in Zimbabwe, including in the lead up to, during, and following Zimbabwe's August 2023 elections, may be found ineligible for United States visas under the policy. The visa restriction policy will apply to specific individuals involved in these acts and is not directed at the Zimbabwean people. The United States supports Zimbabweans' aspirations to have free and fair elections that reflect the will of the people and strengthen democracy, the rule of law, and the protection of human rights. I agree with them. If you don't follow the rules and disrespect our electoral processes, you don't deserve to be dining with the big boys. I've been saying, if you look at America and how they run their stuff, they're not perfect. Let me tell you, they've got their own election drama, but at least the economy is functioning. At least people are eating and drinking. People are happy. You know what I mean? You can't compare with Zimbabwe. They don't subjugate their people. They may not be perfect. Trust me, the electoral process may be flawed, but it can never be compared by our own Zimbabwe. Zimbabwe is worse. It's the truth. You saw what happens on the 23rd and the 24th of August. What an embarrassment. What a shame of an activity. It definitely, they shredded the dignity of our people. It's a shame and it is embarrassment. I don't blame America. I can't dine with people who are not honesty. You want to play with me? Or no, you're going to play your cards right. But if you are playing, your dirty things, no, wisdom will say, I don't want to be in the camp of the devil because I know when the devil is in the neighborhood, he's going to come after me. So I'm not going to play that games. I respect America. You deserve our respect. Go ahead and do what's right by protecting the will of the people. What happened on the 23rd and the 24th can never be swept under the rug. It's not possible. Zimbabweans are saying we do not want to hear about elections anymore. We want to see reforms in place. We want anything that has to do with elections. They must be monitored by outside bodies. We can't trust ZEC anymore. I saw them literally just gallivanting with SADC, and I was like, why wasting our time? Literally wasting resources for the nation because they are not supposed to be in those spaces. They aren't good at what they're doing. You saw Priscilla, I only see when it's election time. Hello, Priscilla Chigumba. You must not forget that this is a season that is passing. The time shall come when we are looking square into your eyes when you are a grandmother and said, you see the mess that we sing today, it's because of you. You people don't be too comfortable. History will judge you. And destiny has a tendency of slapping you in your face at the right time. So beware and be warned that God will definitely going to come to you at his right time. And he will never leave his people again in pain forever. Not anymore. The time for freedom is now, and it must happen by all means necessary so that our people can live a fulfilled lifestyle. Thank you and amen. Okay, moving on. We have this from loyalty to dismissal. One thing I'll tell you about ZANU-PF, don't be too comfortable. When you get into ZANU-PF, usababauka, chila, usababauka. Pani makapinda la mwaka to defeat politics de ZANU-PF. I do recall a woman who rebuked Mr. Chris Muchangwa during the time of the journalist. She said to Mr. Muchangwa, sir, you're not the only person in ZANU-PF, so treat people with respect because as far as I know, These people can wake up and change for you. By the way, their systems are interesting because even the president, Emmerson Mnangagwa too, he ran away from the very same systems. Remember immediately after the, his expulsion from ZANU-PF, when he ran to South Africa for exile, yes, he was running away from the same system. And that very same system will come him again. You can't trust anybody. Mugabe was subjected by the very same system. So no one is safe. No one, absolutely nobody is safe in Zimbabwe as far as these systems are concerned. Now, from loyalty to dismissal, Mnangagwa's stalling move against Roy Bhila. Remember Roy Bhila, the Deputy Minister of Environment, right? Yeah. The Deputy Minister of Environment. He's also a member of parliament in Chiwenga. Quite a very interesting piece that had been dropped today by the Newsworks. Very sad. Why Mnangagwa fired Roy Bhila? Why he was expelled from ZANU-PF? Zimbabwe Deputy Industry and Commerce. Minister Roy Bhila was fired last week over corruption. Everyone is always going to be called a corrupt when it comes to be fired in ZANU-PF. You must not be called a corrupt person. But most politicians that are busy doing corruption, there will come a time where they are going to pull you out, but they won't make a mistake of leaving out your resume. Your resume will be the backdrop of your feet while you're walking out. It will be following you wherever you go. So beware and be warned that your resume can never leave you. Do your corruption, but they're watching you. At the right time, they will drop that right in your face. So they say Mr. Bhila issues semen import licenses, also money spinning permits, and the secret charging of facilitating fees in the process of ministry officials in cohorts with business traders. Official sources have told the Newsworks. To exacerbate the situation, Bhila, who is member of parliament for Chiwenga North Masvingo, was secretly recorded saying President Emmerson Mnangagwa is on his way out as his co-deputy Constantino Chiwenga gradually maneuvers to position himself as his successor in 2018 or before. So Chiwenga's rise, expected by some, will prevent an amendment of the constitution and third-term plot Mnangagwa and his political allies. So they are saying the rise of Mr. Chiwenga will dissolve all these speculation that the president Emmerson Mnangagwa he is vying for a third term. There's been people speculating, which also rob Songezo Shavangu into the fiasco that he's being used as as the front against the Citizen Coalition for Change, but really in pursuit of 2/3 majority. But if Mr. Chiwenga, succeed, according to the Newsworks, succeeds his moves, then the third term may be difficult to actually implement. I've never seen a country like Zimbabwe. I've never seen a country like Zimbabwe. Never in my lifetime. I've never seen the love of power, the love of positions. Unbelievable. So, Bhila, he was recorded saying those statements that no, Mr. Mnangagwa is on his way out. Knowing well that the president made it clear that I've got my ears all over the place. I have my eyes, I have my ears. I'm the godfather of all institutions. That if you just cross the line, I will know and I will act immediately. So, Mr. Bhila, honestly, in my opinion, knowing well, but you can't do that. You can't. So Chiwenga's rise, expected by some, will prevent an amendment of the constitution and third-term plot by Mnangagwa and his political allies. Insider says Mnangagwa officially 81, but in reality, the president is 85. He has third-term ambitions and is seriously maneuvering to stay on beyond 2028. Vision 2030, I guess. That is why ZANU-PF has failed to get absolute parliamentary control during the recent August general elections is desperate to secure a two-thirds majority through the back door to change the constitution to facilitate that. The ruling party is currently capitalizing on opposition activist Songezo Shavangu's fraudulent recalls to cause by-elections to push for a two-thirds majority. Official sources say Bhila was dismissed for those two reasons. Bhila was fired for abusing semen import permits and attended corruption activities associated with that. The issuance of those permits, which are money spending instruments, was accompanied by a payment of facilitating fees for the personal benefit of the ministry officials and those that they work in cohorts with. An official source said, besides corruption, politics also contributed to Bhila's dismissal. He was recorded telling the grassroots in his constituency in Chiwenga that Mnangagwa is on his way out and Chiwenga is coming in. He was specifically recorded as saying, Mudara asina basa, as power is shifting to Chiwenga and people are more aligning themselves with him. Can you hear that? He was recorded. But first and foremost, I find it fascinating how Zimbabweans are so obsessed with recording people that they are concerned. In my understanding of the court of law, you can, number one, present that as evidence. I remember a story that happened recently in South Africa where a top, the former public protector literally recorded someone, a very sensitive story, and also someone actually took her life because of that story. And she decided to present. She literally called a presser, spoke, and everyone was vibing. Okay, finally, now the truth is coming out. They're about to expose the big wigs. And the court said, we were not going to consider your evidence because you recorded someone without their consent. Only in Zimbabwe, where people can record anybody and just roaming around and be saying things. Yeah, we make sure that you played far from Mua, and if you do it close to me and you are in my vicinity, yeah, I'm going to take you down. We'll go down together. You did not mess me around. But people do it. They record people without their consent. It's wrong. That's what happened here. It was recorded. And that information was sent up to the top. And you know what? They acted immediately. You can only imagine when trust is broken, considering our political climate, and you say those kind of words, you are in deep problems. Of course, you are in deeper problem. So it was specifically recorded as saying Mudara, Asisinabasa, as power is shifting to Chiwenga, and people are now aligning themselves with him. Chiwenga is the future. This was viewed as an attempt to incite subversion and a revolt against Mnangagwa's leadership. This is a manifestation of factionalism in fighting and succession battles. The unresolved leadership question in ZANU-PF and government after the coup has not gone away. Mnangagwa recently warned those plotting against him that he was always ahead of them because he set up the country's security architecture and structures that are still loyal to him, hence keeping him in power. He has also said no one will stage a coup against him. The president's authorized biography, Emmerson Mnangagwa, A Life of Sacrifice, by his informal advisor Eddie Cross, says in January 2019, Chiwenga tried and imposed a state of emergency while his boss was away in Russia and other countries in Eastern Europe amid fears of yet another coup. This was during anti-government protests over fuel price increases and other deep economic problems. The book says Zimbabwe Defense Forces Commander General Philip Valerius-Mann refused to help in overthrowing Mnangagwa, who had come in through a coup in November. However, the cement import permit scandal is what immediately got Bhila removed. The political issue exacerbated in the situation. Zimbabweans can now freely import. This came as a response to a doubling of prices caused by surging demand and also depressed local production of the issue of cement. But I was really focusing on this whole succession battle, which is going down here. So beware of what you say. If you are in the politics, especially those that are in ZANU-PF, be warned. Remember another guy who, Terence, was also, alleged that he's part of Chiwenga's faction. He was also heard speaking the same, in the same sentiments, alleging that if Mr. Mnangagwa would, compete with Nelson Chamisa, definitely Chamisa will beat him. And that was pre-elections. And that very same statement took him to prison. So be warned. If you are playing then the ZANU-PF place, just know what you say. Play your cards right, because there are ears that are listening. There are also eyes that are watching. At the end of the day, the political situation in Zimbabwe is very, very toxic. Now, no one is definitely safe in Zimbabwe. Now, Songezo Shamangu has been exposed by ZimI. Very interesting right there. ZimI is alleging that they were following, they actually infiltrate their conversation of Songezo Shamangu and realize that that is very close to Scott Sakupanya. So Songezo, because he's not that wise, he's kind of calling himself this politician, but the dude is not wise. Because if he was wise, he would have known that someone is following him. He thought he was communicating with Scott Sakupanya, and yet he was actually communicating with Simba Chianza. I'd like you guys to take a listen to what they have to say. The conversation, quite an interesting conversation right there, where you didn't know that people have infiltrated the conversation. Take a listen.
So this man, as Zimbabweans, he's been communicating with a ZANU-PF man and people he's been dealing with for over a month, and who've been giving him instructions to recall members of parliament belonging to Nelson Chamisa's party. And right now, he's just arranged a meeting at Crown Plaza with a man who is aligned to... Hi, comrade! Where are you? Comrade, where are you?
But I told you where I am.
Okay, I can't see you. Ananzila sports na quick video chayo. Na batamba ndo mabatira tutamba vyo. No battle. Of what's been happening, so that you can see. Songezo Shamangu has been communicating with me, with the ZANU-PF man. This is from 21 November, as you can see, 21 November. And he's been getting instructions from this ZANU-PF man aligned to Scott Sakupanya. And this development really puts him in, it literally blows the lid on him, shows with clear, impeccable evidence that he is truly an imposter. He is no CCC member. He can't be a CCC member. Look at him. He's getting instructions here from a ZANU-PF member who's clearly telling him, he's even acknowledging here. And he's sending this letter to the IPU, as you can see. And here we go. I will send you a copy. So this is a document that he has been assisted by this ZANU-PF man. Okay. And as you can see here, he's even acknowledging, noted, my brother, this is at the weekend. This is yesterday on Sunday. And as you can see here, he's requesting this copy. He has been assisted to assemble this entire letter here, which is all through, as you can see, Zimbabweans. Now he's, okay, there, he's being assisted. Until we get here, he's saying he's sending the letter by last night, 7 p.m. Right, he communicates with the Speaker of Parliament. He says he's going to communicate over there with Jacob Mudenda. We get to 8 a.m. He was in court, and by this time he has already sent this letter to the Interparliamentary Union in Switzerland. And he's even thanking the ZANU-PF member there, the ZANU-PF man, who is aligned with Scott Sakupanya. He's thanking for the support over here, can you see? And then he gets instructions here, please don't forget to assure Honorable Scott Sakupanya that his seat is secure. He is worried that Kufa, Nelson Chamisa's Kufa MP, might use his numbers, his voting numbers, to torpedo him. And I Also here, Kufa has fled to Malawi. He's using the death of the pastor against you to get you arrested. Soon you're outside Zimbabwe. And also use it against you with the IPU committee when they visit Zimbabwe in January. He must not succeed, and I trust you will help the cause, comrade. You're a fighter and we rely on you. He gets numbers for Scott Sekupwanya over there. And then he says, look, he'll call me. And then that's when he then arranges for this meeting after his court session, and is supposed to meet yonder at Crown Plaza. This is really huge, Zimbabweans. This development shows with clear detail, with Sengozi Chabangu's geolocation. He is at Crown Plaza at present, like literally physically. This is where he is. He was supposing that I would be there, so I even sent him a picture there. As I was at the swimming pool. And the Simba fambira nyaya dzamazimbabwe ndifambira nyaya dzinabasa tofambira nyaya dzevanu vezimbabwe dzinodhila nezveupenyu vemazimbabwe zvemasocialite itai ikoko zvemasocialite indiri journalist wevarombo handiti noti vanhu vanowesta mabundles nezvinosina nebasa. So follow through this story, please, Sipo. Get off the stream if what we're doing here is not important to you. We're working here, journalist wevarombo.
All right, so Simba Chianza is alleging that he infiltrated the conversation between Songezo Shamangu and Scott Sekupwanya. You heard him pretending, speaking like it's Scott, and Songezo Shamangu didn't even pick it up that it's actually not him. So he was communicating with actually a ghost. This is what is divulging, that this guy is definitely working in cahoots with ZANU-PF, even though they are busy denying it. But we know, some of the things we don't have to waste our time. I think the Songezo Shamangu story is one of, that test for Zimbabweans to really know where we stand as a nation. Forget about politicians, but really for us to know where we stand as a nation. Because allowing this man playing with our minds, it will be the worst thing that we can ever do. We should never believe any day, any minute that this guy is actually working with with Triple C guys. There may be some, disgruntlement, some disagreement there and there, whatever the case may be. But definitely Songezo Shamangu is not working for Triple C. It must be known very clearly, because Shorten Wende went in and said, you have been quiet for a long time, so you broke his silence. He said, I have already responded on this, my leader, because people kept on asking him, what are you saying about the Songezo allegations? He said, I've already responded on this, my leader, is Nelson Chamisa, that my leader is Nelson Chamisa. I was elected under his ticket. Our part communications department is the only department authorized to comment on part matters. You are also aware that there are court proceedings on this same matter, which is being handled by our competent legal team. That's Shorten Wende speaking. So you said he was quiet, he never been saying anything, but he said, now finally I'm answering you. I am not working with Songezo Shamangu. Okay, I'm going to take him I'm going to take him by his word. You also heard today BT saying, I'm not working with Songezo Shamangu. For me, I can tell you Songezo Shamangu is working with these bodies. These bodies that are desperate for two-thirds majority, they're the ones that are working with the dude. In my opinion, I can see, it's just in black and white. You can hear it's black and white. So now we want to take a listen to what Shamangu said regarding the Triple C bigwigs, that he's claiming that, no, I'm working with them. He's claiming he's working with the Triple C bigwigs. Let's take a listen to what he's saying. But as far as I know, I don't buy it. But go ahead and listen.
Political heavyweights within the CCC who are working with you behind the scenes. The allegation has been, Tendai BT has issued a statement saying he's not working with you, and that he couldn't speak on behalf of Welshman Mube, who has also been linked to working with you. Are these two gentlemen working with you? Who is working with you?
I'm working with the party. I'm consulting the party leadership. I'm consulting the necessary, or maybe I'm consulting the organs of the party, the citizens. And these are the people that keeps me moving every day. So an individual is not, doesn't represent the movement. There are sentiments where we will disagree on how we should move forward with the people that you have mentioned, but it doesn't mean that they don't support what I'm doing. They may make the political promise pronouncements wherever they are. I'm not at liberty to speak for them. But whatever I'm doing, has got the grassroots support. It has got the national support. So I'm comfortable with whatever.
It has the grassroots support and national support in an organization that doesn't have structures. I mean, how help me understand that.
We have the structures, but we have got this wapusa in the movement, which does not have the structures. We have the structures. If people claim that we don't have interim secretary general in the CCC, they don't refer to the CCC, which was an offshoot from the MDC Alliance, which was structural. They are referring to this structureless organization within. But I'm sure the court is going to educate that and make clear that we represent the CCC, which is organic, CCC, which has got a constitution, CCC, which has got leadership.
Did you notice that these guys always talk about the courts? Did you notice that? His backbone is the judiciary, which makes you question, what is it about ZANU-PF? They are in search or in pursuit of legitimacy. It always the court. Every time the court, why can't you bring the affidavit to the court? Now he's saying, well, you know what, you hear the court. We know, of course, we understand. The president confirmed that he has his people all over the place. And he also said that he's the godfather. So it makes a lot of sense. It definitely makes a lot of sense. You can hear him. He keeps on saying the court. No, talk about principles. Talk about the difference between right and wrong. Stop dragging the judiciary into your nonsense. You're not the only person in Zimbabwe. Honestly, there must be matters that are very serious in the country. But this Songezo Shalangu seems like he is owning the top. But yeah, look at Bhila. Look at Bhila. Bhila was all over the place. You know, they manufactured numbers last time in 2018. He had numbers that exhausted the electoral processes in Chiwenga. Where are they today? So Songezo Shalangu, you are dealing with people that they don't make friends, yeah. They use and they dump. That's how they operate. So beware. Just beware.
You are pleading for a return to the MDCA structures and constitution from the Gweru meeting. Am I right? Is that what you're asking for?
Not necessarily, but that's a roadmap. But all what we seek in this conversation is that when we set in January, and announced the birth of the CCC, we set as the MDC Alliance executive. Because CCC, there was no dissolution that we have dissolved ourselves from the MDC Alliance, but there was a resolution that based on the optics, based on the circumstances around, we cannot continue as MDC Alliance.
Him. Are they CC members or they're members of ZANU-PF for the state?
It's a mixed bag. They are members of CCC who enjoy the proximity. They are proximity to the president, they don't want anybody near President Nelson Chamisa. They don't want any conversation around President Nelson Chamisa. And there is a counterintelligence which will give him a dummy information, which will give him heaven, which will give him the roadmap that is not even there, that you can't even find the signs and signposts. These are the people that have captured Nelson Chamisa. So these are the people who have opened the bank accounts. You spoke about the bank accounts. There are multiple bank accounts that have been opened under the name CCC. And today the same people will challenge me that why did I leave Bulawayo to come and open a bank account in Harare? Is Harare not in Zimbabwe? So am I not entitled? Because today I have challenged them that yes, I have the constitutional mandate. Yes, I have the constitutional right to open the account on behalf of the organization. How about these accounts that have been opened by these criminals? David Coulthard, when we formed the CCC, a week later, he drove to Harare to facilitate to open a bank account. And the criminals told him that, no, we have opened the bank account. And then David Coulthard was saying, how on earth can that account be opened without me as the Treasurer General, without my knowledge? But the account was open. He drove back to Bulawayo. The account is there. And that account was opened under the Chief of Staff. Where on earth do we have a Chief of Staff controlling a party account? So we will reveal these things. We will reveal the charge sheet. We will reveal all these intricacies that have been happened over the years. So
this guy is lying, man. He's lying. Two things that came out. Number one, he says that there are criminals around the president because they are trying to infiltrate. And they also say they are gatekeepers, which I understand why Nelson Chamisa played the strategic ambiguity, because he understood that they were literally following almost every step that he makes, every move that he makes, every decision that he has to implement with the leadership. They were following. So because they didn't get access to him, they did not get access to the information. Now they turn around, they say they are gatekeepers. They also say they are criminals around the president because they did not get through to them. Number two, he's claiming that he opened an account because they also opened many accounts. I don't know what he's referring to. Many accounts. What are they saying, the accounts? Because if you're opening an account, the same name, in my understanding, anyway, maybe different banks, but you can't open the same account in the same name, especially when it has been, if the company has been opened at the I don't know which board that does the company registration in Zimbabwe, but you can't open another account with the same name. I know they're different banks, but at the end of the day, you really can't just pick up someone's name and come and open on your own without signatories. So how did he open? Only God knows how. They say they followed due diligence, the people from a commercial bank, that's the commercial bank of Zimbabwe, right? Yes, they say they followed their principles, but people were saying no. Something must be wrong. Anywho, but I know the only reason is that they didn't get access to Nelson Chamisa. For that reason, now they are calling that they're criminals around him. No criminals at all. All these are scripted. He's all over the place. When you listen to his interviews, you can see that this guy's job these days is just make sure that at least he studies script very well. He studies script, but if you are working with the script, you never know how people are going to throw questions. You're always going to find yourself in trouble. So whenever he speaks, number one, he doesn't do eye contact. That is a problem for me right there. Any person who understands professionalism, when you're having a meeting, especially with journalists or anyone important, be it a client, you must look squarely into their eyes. But this man will be talking, looking on the other side, again, because he knows he's lying. He's going to be caught. Definitely going to be caught immediately. Now moving on, now we get into our family issues. Yeah, there's been two different stories that hurt me and broke my heart. Number one is a woman who decided to unleave herself because of shenanigans. Her personal stories, so it is circulating on social media right now. She was married, she's narrating a story that she went for a function for work, is it India or China? Is it China, India, Sri Lanka, wherever she went to. And then things happened right there. She was married, came back, she found out so she was pregnant, but with the husband, found out, and then she decided that she unleaved herself. She left the world and she went home to be with the father and left her beautiful children. The second story really is about a woman, again, who also had a deranged partner that went in and unleaved one of her beautiful son. Very sad and brutal stories. But I want you to take a listen to the women that spoke. I mean, this woman said exactly what I was going to say. Something must be wrong where we are now, especially in our family life, in our society. Our society is a broken, man. Zimbabwe is messed up. Whether we like it or not, I'm shocked because the stories I'm hearing now, maybe because I'm too old school. Yeah, I'm 40 years old, so I'm old school.
What
This story is quite heartbreaking. I don't even want to listen more. You know, this kind of things really broke my heart. And yeah, honestly, you know, when I look at when I look at what's going on social media, be it Facebook, TikTok, Twitter. Twitter is even worse, getting worse. I almost want to leave Twitter. Actually, honestly, if I would leave Twitter, I would. Unfortunately, I get most of my sources there. You know, so it's tricky because anything that happens in Zimbabwe, it first drops on Twitter before it goes anywhere. That's one thing I'll tell you. That's the only reason why I'm hanging on a thread. But if I have to find someone who can do my research, honestly, I would stay away from Twitter. We are a broken society. Our societies are broken, whether we like it or not. You can see by what's going on today. It has never happened the way our children behave, the way women are behaving, the way men are behaving. There's, you know, we can't. There's not that family structure. And what we don't really understand is that if we're truly in search of joy, what I don't understand personally is that if we are really in search of fulfillment, you can only acquire fulfillment when you do the right thing. You can't cut corners and expect fulfillment. It doesn't work like that. We are literally in search of counterfeit. The fulfillment that we are in search of whenever we are cutting corners and do all our shenanigans, we are simply in search of counterfeit. Genuine, authentic fulfillment and love can only be found within family structures. That's why from the beginning, God is always, and there's always that power within our culture of honoring and respect a family structure. A family where there's a father and there's a mother and their children within that space. If you want to check how strong a family that has a mom and a daddy compared to a family that does not have such, they're different. A family without that structure is weak. And I'm not referring to those that have lost parents, because whenever a parent is lost, sometimes there's always going to be other people who interfere or who intervene and then take care of those children. Because God is got his own way. But the way we are behaving in 2023, things are bad. But I know it drips from the top. From the top. They've dismantled our family structures. You saw them, how they said, if you're no longer paying lobola, it's optional. Not in my father's house. Not in my father's house. You know, but they said, no, you don't have to pay lobola, you can just take whoever you want. That you can see how they are dismantling the most important institutions in our society, family. Because what can only stand between evil politicians and power is a strong family structure. And while they dismantle that, everything is falling apart. And things that are going on in our society are shocking. You can see on social media. Maybe it used to happen, but we were not seeing it. Maybe. But honestly, I think it's worse now. Sometimes I feel like I can't fit in. I really sometimes feel like I cannot fit in the society because of the way of how we live our lives. We are promoting wrong. We celebrate things that are stupid every day. Being promiscuous is normal. As a matter of fact, that's actually the daily bread. It's the order of the day. If you want to do things the right way, people look at you, what's your name? It happens everywhere, in the church, everywhere. People do not fear nothing. Don't respect anybody. But I know in the end, people are in search of fulfillment. But you can only secure fulfillment when you live life right. There are principles that govern life. And when they're broken, it comes with consequences. You can see the kind of consequences that are coming out in our family, in our society now. People are taking their own life because they've broken a rule, a principle of marriage. You're married, you found yourself with other people. That has nothing to do with your marriage that you're committing yourself to. Again, it comes with a heavy cost. You can see women leaving their kids. When you come back, our family structures are falling apart. Tadama faro too much. Vana vadiki vari kuita kunge vanopenga. In the end, we want strong families. It will take sacrifice for us to do so. It will take sacrifice. There's no any other way around. If you truly want happiness, I suggest you promote family life. I suggest you believe in a family structure. Having a father and a mother and children who grew up in those sorts, there's nothing that can beat up that structure. Nothing. Nothing. It's not about money. It's not about money. It is just that love, that unity. It is so powerful. It is so strong. I urge you, brothers and sisters, to pursue that. It comes with a cost, heavy one. Now some people are going to prison as we speak. Some are gone. They're leaving their children suffering because of stupid decisions. We really need to restore our family life by all means necessary. Let's preach love and unity. Let's preach family life more than we can share nonsense that we are sharing. Let's try to promote where we see there's a family that is very strong. We must share that so we can impact our society. We are sharing too much of really nonsense, than the things that are important. I suggest we do so. So at least we can restore our family structure. That's all I have for you tonight. And I'm going to land right here. So let's pray for peace in the country. Let's pray for love. And let's keep on sharing love. But again, believing that something must happen. We don't care in that camp of ZANU-PF. All we want is peace and freedom in our country. May God bless you and may God bless Zimbabwe. I love you so much and sleep tight. If you are just waking up or if you are actually during the day in your city, I suggest that you have a great one and I'll see you definitely tomorrow. I love you all and bye for now.